I am honored to be here today and to be co-authoring the installation with the Energy Nexus project. We were invited to work with the TEDxFenway team to develop the sculpture bar and interactive exhibit. The banners that you see hanging are made from reclaimed fabric from the Fenway Alliance's Enfold Evans Way Park award-winning sculpture by Kim Poliquin. It's been a pleasure working with the TEDxFenway team and with Kelly Brilliant. They are, in no uncertain terms, brilliant. The year was 2010. The BP oil spill was raging in the Gulf, and Cape Wind, America's first offshore renewable energy project, had just received preliminary federal approval. I recall remarking to a group of high school students to, quote, "Remember this year, because it marks a paradigm shift in our understanding of the relationship between climate, energy, and natural resources." Studio to Sustain evolved during this period from a belief that collectively we harness the power to confront these daunting global challenges, to innovate and empower. Today is about all of you, about your courage, your creativity, and the global communities that you inspire and enable. Meet Steve Clark, boat builder, world champion sailor. Steve works with composite materials like carbon fiber. These are critically important in sustainable construction because they enable shelter in remote areas around the globe. Steve tested the properties of carbon fiber by building a cello, and it worked, performing acoustically and structurally. Thus was born Lewis and Clark cellos. But for me, Steve's greatest contribution to society is his approach to designing, building, and racing C-class catamarans. Steve plays hard, and he plays to win. He lives on the edge, literally. But he does something extraordinary. He shares his designs and his constructions with his competitors. He is fostering a collaborative global community of innovators. These sailors and boat builders are advancing our understanding and development of wind energy. When asked what makes him so successful, Steve gleefully responds, "I don't take myself seriously. Nothing I do is proprietary. I do what I know, and I work with what I have." A world champion, both on the water and off. Meet Anastasia Azur, textile sculptor. Anastasia teamed up with MIT and Woods Hole scientist Larry Pratt, combining art and science. Anastasia and Larry simulated the movement of ocean currents using light to visually depict an ocean eddy. Anastasia's textile sculpture inspired Larry to look for volumes of water flow within currents, inspiring Anastasia to develop a series of sculptures that foster ocean literacy. Science, inspiring art, informing science, inspiring advocacy and community awareness. Working with discarded fishing line, Anastasia is weaving within the waves of water. Studio to Sustain is working with Anastasia to develop these public sculptures. Scientists, artists, fishermen, architects, students, educators, creativity, collaboration, inspiration. Progress evolving from the interdisciplinary ecology of a community. Meet Ted Hopfinger, my grandfather, or I should say, the picture I drew of Ted when I was 16, and he was my idol, and in many ways still is. He was a farmer. He never had a computer, TV, or iPhone. He owned a radio. His family introduced soy farming to the United States. Ted studied the climate and the soil. He rotated crops and recycled all components of plant and animal harvest. He never used a chemical fertilizer. He understood ecology. He was a pioneer in sustainable farming and living. So today, we can find inspiration in the creative reuse of abandoned sites. This recent installation within an expended gravel pit now provides energy for a small community. Meet John Magnan, sculptor. John created Habitat, a stainless sculpture that celebrates the eelgrass habitats of our coastal estuaries. These are critically important to the health of our bay. Studio to Sustain worked with John and with the Buzzards Bay Coalition to build Habitat, the public sculpture, engaging and educating a community around ocean conservation. Meet Peter Duff, nuclear physicist turned boat builder. Peter focused on using composite materials to replicate the performance of historic sailing vessels, and in the process developed a series of shallow draft boats launching a community of weekend warriors, accidental scientists that steward our coastlines. Remember the port city of New Bedford? The one known for whaling vessels that sailed the world? Well, today, boats sail on foils. This moth sailboat, the one that flies across the water, not in the air, embodies the daunting courage of our children's generation to reach for the limits of engineering, technology, and yes, artistry. The science of lift that enables this vessel and others now contributes to our capacity to harvest energy from wind. The sea that sustains all life is becoming a sea that generates energy. And our port will assemble turbines that harvest energy, not from whale oil, but from wind. Turbines developed and inspired by a community of innovators are tested at this Massachusetts Clean Energy Center on the Boston Harbor front. Designers, adventurers, engineers, builders, sailors, all connected, all contributing to a creative, sustainable global community. Back to the paradigm shift in our understanding of the relationship between climate, energy, and natural resources. Creativity is the subtext. Creativity frames the question, imagines the challenge, and invites the ideas. Creativity enables us to pause, to ponder, and to proceed. Creatively, collaboratively, collectively. Be who you are. Bring your ideas and be this great community. Thank you.